I'd like to welcome to the show a shred master, Mickey Lyxx. What's going on, Mickey?
How are you, man? So great to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you, man. Can you give us a little bit of history of Mickey?
Well, just with what I've been doing, I mean, I've been playing since I was 12 and just keeping the train chugging. I've gotten to place with some really cool artists.
Right.
I've got really awesome metal festivals like Alcatraz and Vakken and all that kind of cool stuff. I've gotten to open for artists like Yngwie Malmsteen, Doro Pesch, David Ellison, Megadeth. And yeah,
Right.
I just continue to do my thing. Recently I've started, I kind of revamped my solo project and we're doing power metal. It's been a really fun journey so far of just releasing songs, talking about history.
Right.
Engaging in fans cultures and shining light on cultures.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, you're kind of taking the direction of a little bit of Iron Maiden in there, doing the history stuff. I mean, are you a history buff? I mean, is it a hobby of yours?
Yeah, one of my biggest hobbies is this. I love history. I watch, I joke, I'm like a middle-aged man with this, right? Where it's like, I'm just like on YouTube and I'm just like, all right, what topic do I not know about today? And I watch a whole documentary on it. I'm like, I'm into it. I don't care. Like if it's like, do you want to go out? No, I want to watch history. But it's cool because it inspires you, and it's, I think it's one of those things where history is always our greatest lesson, right?
Right, because you're digging deep into history. I mean, you got Gates of Buddha out, you have Persepolis out, and you have Washington Spies. I mean, you're going deep.
Well, I think for me the goal is I love history's great, right? But I want to make sure when I write some of these songs that they're not always about the stuff that's always heavily written about, right?
Right.
And not that there's anything wrong with that at all. I think that's when people write about history, it's really cool. But I want to shine light on things that are maybe not so talked about, right? So like Gates of Buddha, something that usually when people think of that time period, they think of the Siege of Vienna, where that's more of a popular thing, right? Or even if we're talking about ancient cities, right? People can instantly name you Babylon or Jerusalem, right? Those are the two big ones.
Right.
That's not so talked about. And then for me, this next song coming out, Washington Spies, is about history that I live in, right? Where it's Long Island history, which is not really talked about. I mean, it's everybody knows about the Revolutionary War.
Right.
There's all different aspects to it, right? I mean, I'm sure there's stories from where you're from or in Boston or wherever.
Right.
Where, maybe they're not so well known, right? So for me, it was like, oh, well, this is really cool. And it's a sense of home, pride in where I live. So it was like, oh, I want to shine a light on that. Maybe people can learn more about that. And it branches them into a different subject, right? But for me, it's just, history is one of my greatest passions. I love it. I mean, obviously, combining music and history for me has been it's exciting every song.
Right.
Ooh, yeah.
I got to ask this because you have a powerhouse vocalist with you, Jill, from Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I mean, she's amazing. She's incredible. How did you two get together to do this?
So I've been playing with Jill for the past 3 years now.
Okay.
Believe it or not, which people may or may not know, is Jill is my stepmom.
Oh.
Yeah. So she, her and my dad dated a long time ago. And then as time went on, they just, they maybe 3 years ago started talking to each other again. And then, they started dating. And so, I've known of Jill, of course, and how great of a vocalist she is. And so I started doing gigs with her. Whatever would be a Woman of Rock or maybe just covers, doing some acoustic stuff. And then we started to write together. So last year we were writing a lot of just catchy pop rock songs together. But so then in the fall, right, when I started writing this power metal stuff, I was kind of just out of tinkering with these ideas, writing these songs. And so just one day I just pulled Jill and I was like, hey, just do me a favor. Just sing this. Just sing it.
Right.
She was in Trans-Siberian Orchestra, of course, but other than that, she doesn't do power metal or anything. This was kind of the first. And so I pulled her in and I was like, yeah, just try it, just see that. Because I know she's a good voice. I know she'll sound good even if it's not her thing. I know she'll sound. But then she started wailing and I was like, and that's it. And I'm like, now I don't need to look for it. I'm like, Jill's the person. I don't need to look for it.
Right.
right off the bat just like clicked. Every inflection, like she has, I mean, a great voice and like a fantastic voice in general. But in power metal, it really sits nicely, and especially because it's that very like symphonic, like
right. I mean, it really comes out in Persepolis. I mean, that song, her vocals just shine on that tune. All of them, actually. You know, I mean, she's an incredible artist. I'm sure I've probably seen her with TSO at some point. I've seen them a few times. But, I mean, her vocals are awesome. I mean, who do you have on drums?
So on drums, I have my good friend Steve McQueen.
Okay.
Of course. And I've been friends with Steve forever. Going back, we've been in band since we were kids together. And as I started to do my Mickey Lyxx thing, of course, he was the first guy who I'm like, I want. And I've been so blessed to be able to go. Like, I've been in multiple bands with him. We've gotten to tour together, and we continue to keep doing stuff together. And he's a beast. He's so reliable. He's a great songwriter.
Right.
He's a fantastic person.
Right. I mean, it's amazing what you got going on. Who are some of your influences, starting out at 12 years old to play guitar? I mean, Yngwie had to be in there somewhere.
So I didn't discover Yngwie until I was like 14 or 15.
Oh, okay.
For me at the time, I always grew up around guitar. My dad, he was a fantastic guitar player. He owned a guitar store in the 90s before I was born.
Right.
And then, so I didn't start off a guitar player, though. I mean, I was always around it. I played ice hockey most of my life, believe it or not. And then I got injured, and I started to dabble in guitar, and then it just kind of switched for me. I was like, okay.
Right.
But so growing up, I love Van Halen, right?
Right.
Most love Van Halen. It's just, how do you not, right?
Right.
Van Halen, I was big on the band Santa Cruz. Really loved Santa Cruz. So Archie Cruz, was a really big inspiration for me. And then I'm friends with Archie now. He's a sweethearted dude. And then I was into the band following Reverse when I was a kid. But not I know they release the songs now like they have, but I was really, 2010 Drug Me As You. Cause that was kind of had that, it was a little bit of that classic 80s feel, like a modern feel to it.
Right.
And so I'm a huge fan of Jacky Vincent, and then I ended up studying under Jacky Vincent.
Cool.
So for me, those were my main three. But and then as I came along, I remember the first time hearing Yngwie, Far Beyond the Sun. That was the first song I ever heard from Yngwie. And just I grew up around my dad. He can shred. He could still shred circles around me, I believe. But just hearing it, you're just I don't know. It was just you just have no words. You have no words. So players like him, I really like Paul Gilbert. I've been recently getting into Frank and Bali. That's another really great player. Just a lot of these classic 80s guys, Warren DeMartini, for instance. So if you look at my art, I have DeMartini tattoo.
There you go.
Grew up a huge Rat fan too. I absolutely love Rat. So I would say there's a lot of guys, but to name a few, to spotlight on the main, those would be the guys.
Right. Now your work on Holy Mother was awesome also, because Jeremiah on that album is one of my favorite tunes off of that album, and your work on that, and then you went, why did you leave Holy Mother? Did you just think it was time to pursue something different?
Yeah, I just think it was time. I think as an artist, you want to have the right to be creative. You want to be creative. And if you don't feel like that's happening, then that's it. I think there's a lot of things, but for me, it's I wish them luck. Get best of luck, prayers to me. But I'm really enjoying what I'm doing now, and I think as an artist, you don't want to feel caged. You want to feel make what you want, and that's why for me it was just all right, it's time.
Right.
I'm to just go do something else and enjoy myself there.
Right. Well, how is your solo stuff being received? You're everywhere from what I've seen, so it's got to be doing pretty well for you.
Doing really well. I've just been so thankful and so happy about it. Because for me it was being in this European thing for a while now of touring. I've done a lot of European touring.
Right.
My American touring I've done, but it hasn't fit as much as European. So I got to really learn the market, and especially I'm with a band called Adrian. I've got to really learn the market from that and really study it and get to know it. So for when I was writing this stuff, it felt like it just fit. So it was like, all right, I know how to tap into this market. So
right.
Let me do that.
Right.
And for me, it was just like, all right, let's write that, let's get it going. And it's been so exciting to see each song release of people getting into it, even if it's like this is why I brought up in the beginning, right? Where I really love that how people get into these songs, because it's embracing their culture, you know what I mean? It's not
right.
I'm putting anyone down with this, it's embracing culture. That's exactly what it is, and it's learning and embracing. So like when Gates of Buddha released, the amount of like outpour I got from like Hungarian fans, like new and people
right.
It was like incredible, like, and that's stuff like that makes you feel it here, you know what I mean? Where you're
right.
like, oh, that's really nice to know that like people think that, like that I'm treating their culture with respect.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So for me, I'm like, oh, that's really nice. So I think it's just been it's a climb, and it's been a very happy climb. You know, like it's,
right.
The numbers are coming up and up and up, and it's just been like, not to get obsessed with numbers and all, but just just seeing the outpour and the support.
Right.
It's been so I can't say enough how thankful I am for it. It's
right.
amazing.
Well, that's the thing. Doing what I do, you know, pushing talent such as yourself and stuff all over the world. I've noticed that the European people are diehards. I mean, they are diehard fans. They will stick with you till the day's end. You know, it doesn't matter. And what you're doing, you know, coming up and doing stuff on people's cultures and stuff, I think it's pretty unique, and I think it's pretty awesome what you're doing, actually. Because when I first heard Gates of Buddha, I had to look it up to see what the heck you were talking about. And I'm like, oh, okay, he's on to something. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's phenomenal what you're doing. I think you got a good thing going, and I mean, it's just amazing. Is there a possible chance for a U.S. tour?
I definitely hope so. I mean, we're focused on releasing, because we have Washington Spies coming out this Friday.
Right.
So many things, right, trying to put together, but I'm really hoping for a U.S. tour. I mean, I've started to look into bookings and shows and stuff, and we're starting to like put stuff together.
Right.
But you know, the U.S. tour would be fantastic. I mean, I feel like as a power metal act, maybe sometimes it's not as easy as like say Europe.
Right.
I think there's a good market for it that can appreciate it. So I definitely want to take it on the road in the States for sure. So as soon as I know, you'll know, my friend.
I hope you make it here to Pittsburgh, man, where I'm at, because I will definitely be there. But I can't say enough. You're absolutely amazing artist, and keep going, man.
Thank you.
Keep going. Where can people find it? Is there a possible chance for maybe an album coming out, or are you gonna just keep doing singles?
No, there is. So I can say firsthand. I actually think this is the first time I'm saying this, probably on an interview or just like to the public in general. So the plan is to keep releasing singles, right? But now we're looking at a album release for for the time being. It's going to be around there, winter of 27. My guess is probably February.
Okay.
And it's going to be all this. It's going to be all historic power metal, all historic metal.
Right.
Talk the things, because the songs are starting to really pile up. We're gearing up for this release. We already have the next release pretty much in the ringer already. And it's just, the climb has been great. So I'm so excited to be, getting close to we're going to be putting an album out, and I think you guys are really going to appreciate it if you're history buffs and into metal, right?
Right.
And it's just fun. So I'm excited for it. So I would say keep an eye out for winter of 27.
Okay. I was never really into history back in high school until I heard Iron Maiden. So now the kids can learn from Mickey Lyxx.
Make this the ultimate example of that. Them and Sabaton. Those are the two.
Oh, yeah. Sabaton also, yeah.
Yeah, if you're really into history and you're really into metal, you got to listen.
Before we go, give us a little inside story on this brand new single, Washington Spies.
Gotcha. Okay, so Washington Spies is about the Cobra Spy ring on Long Island, where I happen to live. So it's said by General Washington himself that he wouldn't have been able to win the Revolutionary War had it not been for the spies on Long Island. So what it was during all the fighting, the British took over Long Island. However, a lot of Long Islanders stayed loyal to the colonies. So what started to happen was they started to spy on the British and pass intel along. So, like some key figures we had like Caleb Brewster, who would sail from Connecticut to Long Island.
Right.
And Talmadge, who was really forefooting like the whole thing, who would pass it along, right? Andrew Woodhull, who came from the city to get this, to get it. He was referred to as his code name was Culper. And there's actually a TV show on this, believe it or not. I forgot who made it. It's called Turn. I haven't like watched the full thing because like I've watched some of it and there's a lot of inaccuracies in it because there was actually a book written about this in like maybe 100 years after it happened. So this happened from like I think 77 to 83.
Right.
The guy kind of took liberties and he didn't get his facts straight. So a lot of it was like correct. So like there was one thing where like there was one of the people at the time, her name was Anna Strong. She was a part of the ring, but so he made this like thing up that she would hang like petticoats and stuff and handkerchiefs on a line so that Caleb Brewster could see it in the Long Island Sound and be like, okay, and bring it back to Connecticut. But that was not true because like the Strong's house wasn't even on the water in Long Island, so that wasn't possible.
Right.
And so like I think he himself had a quote where it was like, But so just to go back to the main point, it was providing intel to General Washington so that he knew what was happening on Long Island. I think I'm not like, I don't want to, I'm not going to commit to this because it hasn't been like fully committed as fact, but I'm pretty sure with it. I forgot. Sorry. I forgot his name. Crap. Forget what I was saying. Okay. But there was a lot of intel that was passed along. And it was just, it was a really big part of the Revolutionary War that I don't think is, a light has really shined on that much. So I was very happy to write a song about it.
Right. That's pretty awesome, man. Cool. All right, Mickey, you got anything else you want to add in here? How about giving people your social media links and stuff for where they can find you?
Yeah, so you can find me, Mickey_Lyxx on Instagram, Mickey Lyxx on Facebook, www.MickeyLyxx.com for just a website. You can look it up on Spotify, Apple, I'm there. Right. And Lyxx spelled Lyxx.
Right.
It's Mick Mouse and then Lyxx Lyxx. So you can find all my stuff there. Music's all up. Music video will be coming out for this video, not this week, but next week.
Okay.
We'll just keep the push on going and keep your eye out because who knows, we might be playing near you. So, and I hope to see you there.
All right, Mickey. Hey, thanks for taking the time out, coming on Metal Shop 101, man. Greatly appreciate it. And best of luck to you. Hope to see you out there on the road someday.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, buddy.
All right.